Hello and welcome to today's video, and today we find ourselves back in the woods. We're just making the last of the autumn colours. Everything's pretty much leaving the canopy now, so the weather report says it's pretty bad over the next 3 or 4 days, maybe even 5 days, so today is pretty much the only time I've got really to try and make the most of it. So I've managed to find myself a river, and I'm going to spend the next few minutes up and down this valley trying to find some compositions to share, and hopefully we'll get some compositions like this. Okay, so really in this image we've got a beautiful tree to the right hand side, which I'm just focusing on the bottom of the trunk, and we've got the river, waterfalls and stuff just snaking round to the left hand side, and we've also got this root structure on the right, which is adding a bit of bleeding foreground into the picture. Now because it's deceivingly dark in here, it's a bit of a balancing act between shutter length and focal distance at the moment, and it's just trying to catch that that medium ground for where the detail is still kept in the water as it comes over, because it's dark, the shutter's being left open quite a lot, and that, although it's making the water very milky, it's also very, very white. So what I've had to do is take a bracketed picture, and with the hope that going back into Lightroom I can then or Photoshop, sorry, I can then just put a little bit of detail back in to that waterfall. So hopefully if it's worked out, I'll pop that up for you now. Well, okay. Well, this isn't sketchy at all. What I've done is, from the last picture, I've just turned myself around to shoot down the river. Now, I always tend to fall into the trap of always photographing a waterfall with the water running towards you. Sometimes it's quite nice to actually show the water running away, which is what I've done here, because there's lots and lots of white water giving lots of lovely streaks when you slow the shutter down. And it's leading off into this beautiful woodland. Now, because it started to rain, as is often the case when I ever come out, we've got a little bit of atmosphere going on just in the treetops, which is giving quite a nice look. Well, it does look quite nice on the back of the monitor, on the little screen here. Now, the histogram is shooting way over to the left, which means it's obviously it's in danger of blowing out all the low lights, all the blacks and all the rest of it. Now, I don't really mind that, because I quite like that this, today it's dark and moody in my eyes. There's no sun to give you any hot spots anywhere, so I'm quite happy to have the histogram showing over to the left hand side rather than having it sort of central. And yeah, it's kind of given me what I want as regards whatever highlights there are. It's accentuating them in the distance, so I think it's working out. I've had to kind of focus stack a little bit on this one, because it's deceivingly dark in here. I want to get a fair amount of light in. I don't want to exactly use the ISO so much, because you've got the danger of running into some grain in the shadows and things like that. So I want to try and keep the image as clean as possible. So I've left the ISO at 100, but I've got an f.9 aperture on the go, which is pretty good, but obviously the depth of field isn't there, especially for the scene the way it is running off into the distance. So I've got it at half a second at f.9, and I've focused on, I don't know if you can see it on there, but there's a little section of rocks just in front of me. There's a large rock to the right, and there's a trunk just over to the left-hand side. Anything past that I really don't mind, because it's all taken up with that atmosphere of the picture in my mind. So hopefully, if that's come out, I'll pop that up for you now, and I'm going to journey on further down and see what else we can find. Whoa! Okay, well, I'm going to look around for a few more compositions here. Now, I did try to make a video last week and it didn't quite work out. As I'll explain, things just went from bad to worse, and I got pretty frustrated with myself because I don't know, I just basically closed my mind off to everything, and I was just singly focused on getting a particular image, and of course it didn't work out. So I'll take you over there now and explain more about it. Hello and welcome to today's video, and today we are at Lud's Church. Now, I'm not sure if there's a church there or not, but doing my research into this area, the images that I've seen people take here are really good. It seems very sort of lots of narrow pathways and lots of rocks, and it's very fantasy. So in my mind I've kind of got sort of fantasy sort of looking images on there in my head. So the light is fairly the light is fairly good for that type of photography, because I'm hoping that if there's any foliage and things like that over the top, that that might light up, all those sorts of things. So it's good to go in and have an idea. If it comes out or not, I have no clue. It's quite the adventure when you don't know quite where you're going. I know the map basically points in kind of this direction, so I'm assuming that where I want to go is just over these hills and down into the woodlands and stuff down here. So I'm just going to keep following this path for a little while and see where we go. It's always good when you don't know where you're going, and I never seem to know where I'm going half the time. But yeah, hopefully we'll get some good images today. Okay, well, I've been here for about an hour and a half or so, and I've walked along the bridle path where we were just now, and I've come down into the woods, but there's no way down into the canyon at the moment from what I can see, no obvious way, unless I go probably right to the front of the woods, possibly down at the far end, or back up this way. Now, although I'm within the tree line, I'm actually heading back towards the car again now, but I'm hoping I can find a left-hand turn that will take me down into the valley down there, because it's quite a long old way down there. So I'm hoping, and I think there's a river down there as well, which would be cool. So I want to keep on going this way and see what we can find. After a couple of hours of searching and not having taken any images up till now, I was really starting to get frustrated that I couldn't find what I'd come all this way to find. Well, I'm really starting to feel a bit despondent about trying to get down there, but I think looking through the woodlands just up there, I think we might have a way down after 2 hours. Well, I can hear through that, look down there, I can hear a river, so that's quite exciting. What's not quite so exciting is what goes down. It's got to go back up again. I'm not looking forward to that. It was at this point that I really thought I'd cut my losses, and it was time to go back to the car. The sun was going down, the clouds had come in, and there was misty rain in the air, and so I thought, well, that's it, it's time to go home. But my journey home back to the car took me past what I'd come to see. Being mindful that it was getting dark and that at any minute it could start raining, I refocused my efforts. I took up my camera and looked around and began to shoot, and these are the images I got. Okay, I finally made it back to a very blustery car. Bit of a lesson learned today, really. I came out with the intention of getting a certain image, and I didn't find it, and I very nearly gave up and came away with nothing because I was so blinded on the image that I knew I wanted to take. Now, I passed quite a few other compositions that would have been really good, and had I not finally found where I wanted to be, then I would have lost, I would have come away with nothing on this outing. So a bit of a note to self, really. Be a little bit more open-minded when you're out and about. That's all I can say, really. Just be open-minded, because you just don't know what's going to come at you. And like I said, I could have come away with nothing today if it wasn't for that last sort of 20 minutes where I did stumble across what I had been searching for. Well, hopefully you enjoyed those images. I must admit, I was so wound up with myself that I'd just gone past all the beautiful river, and there's some beautiful trees there which I could have done, but because I was so single-mindedly focused on getting that one image that I'd kind of seen, I nearly lost out. But I was really grateful that I was able to get a few images from that day. Now, I came here without any expectations, and I've taken a few photographs up and down this river today, and this is just astounding. This has probably been photographed to death. I've not seen any online here, but this beautiful bridge, you've got the root structures, you've got the water running up through the valley, you've got the beautiful colours. It's just astounding, absolutely astounding. I just wish it wasn't so late on in the day, and there'd be a few sort of kind of hot spots and what have you, because it is getting quite dark in here, as I've probably said so many times in this video. But it's astounding, absolutely astounding. So I think I've probably got 20 minutes, half an hour of usable light, really, and then I'm going to head back up. But I'm really excited to show you the photographs that I've got from this area. So I'll talk you through some of the compositions. Right, I'm really quite excited about this shot, actually. I've come across this beautiful set of bridges and going up into that woodland. That's the pathway I've just come down, and it looks actually amazing. So I'm not really making too much of a feature of the waterfall this time. I'm just trying to work this area for a minute, because there's another bridge further down. What I'm trying to do is, if you can see, is you've got the bridge running here, and you've also got a bridge just in the background. So I'm just trying to get those balanced up so it just carries on into the distance. Now, if you look up to the left there, you've got that beautiful tree with all the yellow leaves just still clinging in there. Now, if I bring you across to here, let's try and get rid of some of the reflections. That's what we've got framed up. So yeah, I'm quite excited with that one, actually. I have messed around with the shutter, because I want to try and do it in one rather than focus stacking, because obviously with movement of the leaves and all the rest of it, it'll just be a nightmare. So yeah, what we've got is it's a 1/6 of a second f13. So I'll focus basically on the bridge, and everything past the bridge should be in focus. But if there's any sort of drop off towards the back, it really won't matter, because it's just too far away. But, again, the histogram is over to the left hand side. It's very dark. Again, it's giving us that moody look, but with the polarizer in, it's saturating all the beautiful colours, that yellow especially. And if I show you around, you've got all the pine needles and what have you on the floor, and it really doesn't show up on the it really doesn't show up on the GoPro all that well. But yeah, I'm excited for this one, so I'll pop that up for you now. joining me on this outing. I usually lose something when I'm out and about, and today I managed to lose the outro clip, which is really helpful when you're coming to edit all this together. Now I'd just like to say thank you for joining me. If you could leave a like and subscribe, that would be great, and any comments that you might have I do read, and I do try and answer as many as I can. So I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye for now.